Attention gamers, let me give you context into what you are about to see by telling you a story. Imagine it's like 2012, you found this piss pit of a game on the side of some movie pirating website, so you gave it a try. You noticed you sucked at the game, but not nearly as bad as the uncoordinated idiots in your game, so you figured you had potential. During the days you'd grind your rank while trying to learn from the biggest streamers at the time. At nights, you reach the very top of the ladder and start receiving scouting messages to play in small leagues and organizations that are forming, so you tell your strict dad, who wants you to go to med school and be a urologist like him, that he can go suck one of the wieners he's always looking at because you want to be a professional League of Legends player instead. You join a shit local team first, but your commitment is higher than these fake D-gens, and thus you start getting attention from bigger, well-known teams. You're making 6 cents on the hour because the video game industry is still something to be mocked at as a career, but then you catch your big break, starting support on one of the biggest pro organizations in the world, where you will be playing on the biggest stages, at the highest skill level imaginable, and you're so ready to lock in a champ like Yuumi.
They're thinking a little bit more aggressive for the move. Aw, dude.
Who can be played effectively by doing this. And I guess Riot isn't a fan of a champ that people have literally played with their feet being showcased on the grand stage as the demonstration of the highest level of gameplay, so they've been nerfing her almost every patch to further prove that they base their balance changes around pro play, because why not balance a game that millions of people play based off of just a few dozen pros who have the reflexes that us mere mortals can't relate to? But if you don't believe me, you can see that Riot flat out states pro play is the reason for changes in the patch notes, but passive aggressive energy toward the company that made the game I'm grossly addicted to aside, they randomly decided to buff all the damaging abilities in the kit of this kitty. So in this video I just had to test going down the newly giga buffed full AP Yuumi artillery mage path instead of the more socially accepted enchanter that my urologist father would prefer I go, and you'll see that these recent changes have made AFK gaming more fun than ever. For example, everyone has heard of Ray, the mobile MMORPG that you can play from your phone, where you can build a roster and progress through endless content, and lately I can't even take a dump without seeing stuff about the new Death Knight, who is finally becoming a champ, so I did God's work and got him in the studio for an interview. Hey Death Knight.
Hey!
You've been in the news a lot lately, and I initially thought it was because of the stuff with your mom and young Great.
How dare you!
Can you talk about the event where people can unlock the Chad version of you as a champ?
All you have to do is log in and play Raid for 7 days between now and October 27th.
Okay, but real question, let's say I'm doing some solo campaigning with my internet GF War Maiden and I need a wingman to talk me up to her. How will you do that?
Let me break it down for you.
Stay on topic, please.
But unlocking Ultimate Death Knight and having to carry a level 1 sounds awful, to be honest.
Enter promo code DK Rises for a ton of free items to instantly upgrade Ultimate Death Knight to level 50, 5-star Ascension, or whatever. I don't care. Back to you.
Velp, I've heard enough time to use my own link in the description or scan this QR code to try Raid today and instantly get silver energy refills, shards, and Vergus, a dank free champ.
Talk about something else, please.
Alrighty, so I was rocking Comet on the kitty with plans to go full pew pew with my Qs. As you can see, this obese skipping ball sack in his Captain Jack Sparrow cosplay wasn't exactly having a good time, as I was just rapid firing these heat-seeking chime nuggets up his fat fart nozzle all laning phase, and I may have been a kitty, but I was heard dogging this douche that's a double entendre because he was dressed like Johnny Depp and I was being a total bitch to him. Sorry Elizabeth for the outdated joke, but anyways, we successfully made the bard go base, leaving just the waterbender here to die alone until Clash Day. Aphelios learns the hard way that having 9 weapons doesn't mean shit if you auto the tower. One of the backseaters in the comments, direct this man to the toggle attacks champs only like you virgins never forget to do when I shit the bed like that. Anyways, he does eventually shoot a splitter for a slaughter when Riot feels like not giving me credit, and then he dies. But I'm all about writing this sped Jedi until he's a fed guy, but Barty Boy flashes out of the picture and then we are blood battling to the death against Man Bear Pig when I realized that by not hopping off to trigger my passive to get shield for Yi, I let him die and probably triggered the Yuumi mains out there on their RGB keyboards who show their grandparents googled pictures of Pokimane and say it's their girlfriend, but I think it's apparent that the real reason we lost that fight is because this Yi forgot to bring his weapon to work today. That said, when it came to this Aphelios, the wheel was definitely spinning, but the hamster was either passed out or dead, as he would just keep running straight into shitty situations like he had a fetish for being killed, to the point where they were so fed that good fights where we caught that swashbuckling scrotum out and killed him off still resulted in a resounding L for us. Like look at this, I'm over here setting up for the chime snipe steal of a century while learning why this Ophelio's birth certificate was an apology letter from the condom factory, so we got shit smoked in that fight, leaving me down here just trying my hairy nipple kitten's best to kill one of them off so that I could say worth with full copium, only for Uncle Rito to put me in the cat cuckold of a century with that Q range. So with the way game 1 was going, the only things I could successfully kill were wards, but even that process was starting to trigger me. Still outdamaged my ADC, but I didn't achieve artillery Nuki Yumi status, so I had to try another. Game 2 we are doing that thing where we try to make the enemy junglers commute to work, a living nightmare, no pun intended, cause it's a nocturne and I hopped off with impeccable timing to steal the first kill. Side note that no one talks about randomly, these little tit missiles are sometimes like impossible to drive. Anyways, we are getting poked and prodded more than an asshole at a gastroenterology practicum, but I know Bobby Beastality is in the area, so it'll be the perfect opportunity to hit a blind chime on Battle Academia Sexy Lexi and the shrubs before pulling on these pink wings to take me into the action, so I hop on Daddy for a bit and ultimately spectate from his broad reworked shoulders the ginger go down. At this point, simply playing this champ for 2 games in a row has me turning into a talkative high school girl that asks stupid ass questions, but I was still the ping papa orchestrating what was going to be super epic battles.
Jeez.
And in case you are wondering why I seem to be getting the camp of my life, it's a funny story. You see, our jungler was saying he was definitely not Udyr, but I had an awkward run-in with him in the bathroom and I saw firsthand his ram bear pig hawk dick, so I knew that he knew that I knew that he definitely was Udyr, and let's just say I would tell the whole world of his true identity if he didn't make my lane a 3v2. So yeah, some people may say Yumi is a waste healy queefing good for nothing champ that should be removed from the game, but when I play her she's a
blackmailing badass.
Quick damage check on the Lux. Also, when I am playing the Kitty Titty Healy distributor, I have a strict rule against hopping on molten rams who get caught staring at the snake tits, as I feel they are a lost cause being so sloppy. Definitely not Udyr today, bitch. Then everyone is left lower than my paycheck from YouTube because they are racist towards robots, as I hit a curvy boy round robin for the assist. I hop back onto the chicken with the giant Victoria's Secret lingerie wings to give her the motivation to chase her goals by lighting any busty buccaneer in her way on fire and watching her die. I announce my interpretation of how this game is going, and then I also request that Rift Alexa talk a little bit about my performance thus far as well. Then I'm on my way mid to play a quick game of Surprise the Serpent when I get a glimpse of that hoe I banged at that Battle Academia frat house party, so I casually do half her health with 1 Q. Then we kill their Nocturne. Riot gives me a perverted amount of gold for my participation. Their team requests we report him for playing poorly in a normal draft, and then I get in position for a little oncoming traffic chime. You dead on the misfortune. Anyways, me and this foxy mama, who I am admittedly enjoying being tethered to, are just setting up for a quick game of Surprise You a Dead Bitch, and it looks like our first contestant was the Smoky Pokey Crabclaw, whose team wants to be reported, so we stoke that fire a bit before the town whore from Battle Academia lets us fuck her again. We're casually vandalizing a statue with our cute looking magic when Medusa comes in, so I'm like, hurry, charm her, which works, but then I'm like, I said charm her, not get caught staring at them reptilian tits, so we kill her, but it was closer than it had to be. Checking in on my chime damage with 1.5 items now. But then leave it to a moron who mains Mordekaiser to mess up a good thing. We are all chilling mid, casual murder is on the menu, we literally have Slither tits dead to rights. I got the strobe light going and he pulls her into the closet as if 1v1 is better than 3v1, so now I'm a stray kitty who can't even hop onto anyone else because he dropped me onto a puddle of snake piss, which puts my adoptability on cooldown, so now I'm just waiting for my dumb dad to get home from work, but they have a combo that wombos, so sorry Kaisa. Us kitties need to look out for ourselves. Also, for context, the enemy team may have wanted their jungler reported for supposedly not wanting to win yet. This was the second dragon this game that he stole, but I guess all they saw was the death announcement, as if they themselves didn't have one of their own right after. Anyways, I'm now bot hanging with my new babe from the Battle Academia when the lights go out, and after a tiny kitty shit my pants I realize it's not us, which means we are alone with this feeding ADC, so I'm over here pulling on her tails, biting her nips, saying let's go girl, until she finally gets the memo and we shine enough lights at pretty pistols for her to piss off. Then I'm scanning for Wi-Fi signals when my Chad teammates prove that they aren't real League players in this elo by giving me blue buff, which lines me up for the crazy Q poke fest you saw edited in the intro. So this time around I will give the first 2 people $10 RP who guess how much damage I did as Yuumi in this sequence in the comments starting now. Till now, so leave your guesses below. And after such an exhilarating poke fest, all I wanted was more, so I requested to be taken into danger only for the directions to be slightly unclear for some people, leaving me in a situation just like the first game where I was back to killing wards.